Hi there, we're Sean and Allison from Spoken Garden, and we're partnering with Eden Brothers to help you in your garden.
We're going to talk to you about dahlias today and how you can add them to your garden. Now, before you add dahlias to your garden, you need to know that they're hardy in only zones 8 through 11. They're perennials in those zones. In any other zones, you'll need to dig them up and store them over the winter months so you can then plant them the next spring. Now, dahlias grow from what's called a tuberous root. It's a type of bulb, and it makes it really fun to grow them. You can also grow them by seed, which we'll show you those in a little bit. Now, dahlias can range in not only flowers, but also flower sizes and plant sizes. Dahlias like to grow in full sun locations, and they don't like to grow under wet conditions, so you need to find a place where they can grow in really well-draining, nutrient-rich soil. Dahlias are native to Mexico and Central America, so that makes them part of the Americas, right? It's really fun. Now, dahlias sometimes are referred to as tubers. Some people call them just bulbs. They're actually what's called a tuberous root. And the reason for that is they're made up of a cluster of tubers, usually, especially when they are mature. And those clusters of tubers have long necks coming off of them that all connect to a central location where then the bud or the eye, the above ground part of the plant, that's where that grows from. And so it's called a tuberous root because of that.
So dahlias come in a lot of different colors, color combinations, and forms for their flower shapes. So it's really fun to think about adding them to your garden and considering why you want to add them to your garden. And we have a lot of dahlia colors to show you in just a little bit, but I want to talk about dahlia forms like this one. This is one of our favorite dahlia forms. This is considered a dinnerplate dahlia. Now, dinnerplate dahlias get huge. They can get as large as 8 inches in diameter or even bigger depending on how much sun they get. Other dahlia forms include cactus, semi-cactus, ball, pompon, and we have a lot of examples of those to show you as well. Dahlia foliage can come in mostly a light green color like you see here, but some dahlia foliage can be dark green or even purple. So Sean mentioned previously that dahlias do prefer full sun, but they can tolerate some light shade. Just know that the more sun you give your dahlias, the bigger the flowers will be. And one last note about dahlias as you're planning, before you start adding them to your garden, you want to make sure to plant your dahlias in an area of your garden that is protected from mild to heavy winds, because winds will knock them over and they'll just be a mess.
Now, there's many different reasons to add dahlias to your garden and benefits, including different flower colors like splashes of colors. Also, dahlias can come in different sizes like heights and widths. So some grow a little bit taller, some are going to grow a little bit wider than others, and it's really fun just to mix them up with some of your other plants. Also, with the different heights and width, you can use them as filler plants to fill in open spaces around your garden. And also, they're great pollinator attractors. They attract bees, they attract moths, and even butterflies. Also, dahlias are great to add to your garden if you want to have a lot of cut flowers. As you can see here, we've got long stems on a lot of these different flowers here, and they're great for putting in vases and having in the house so you can enjoy them a lot longer. And the last benefit of adding dahlias to your garden is that they like to bloom for quite a long time if they have the best growing conditions, and they can grow from midsummer all the way into the fall months. So it's really fun to have them in your garden. The best time to plant your dahlia bulbs is when your soil is warming up and the last threat of frost has passed. Plant your dahlia bulbs during the longer, warmer days of spring, not at the very beginning of spring. Dahlia bulbs can be planted out into your garden as late as mid-June in some parts of the United States.
Whether you're planning to add dahlias to a large space garden or a small space garden, there are so many options for how you can grow your dahlias. You can grow them in containers or fabric bags if you have a little bit of a smaller space. You can grow them in larger rows or areas straight in the ground. Or you can even grow them in raised beds. They grow very well as long as you have the depth needed to grow your bulbs, which is at least 6 inches deep. Now, we've grown dahlias in all of those situations before, and currently in this small space garden, all of our dahlias are being grown in fabric bags or containers. They grow really well. You can see they're all being staked right now because they do get tall and flop over a little bit. Now behind me here is this beautiful dahlia. It's one of the largest dinner plates. This is called Emery Paul. It's kind of a pinkish purple color. And these flowers, as long as they have enough sun, they can grow up to at least 10 inches in diameter or larger. Now, cafe au lait is one of the most popular dahlias. We have it right here. You can see the beautiful, soft, peachy pink colors. It's a large dinner plate dahlia as well, and it's very popular in bouquets and weddings. We love cafe au lait for its beautiful soft colors, and it looks gorgeous in cut flower bouquets. We also have cafe au lait rose, which is this beautiful pink shade. We also have cafe au lait supreme, which is a gorgeous large white dinner plate dahlia. The last dinner plate we're growing in this area and another area of the garden is red labyrinth. And labyrinth is just a gorgeous, gorgeous dahlia. We both love it. The intricate kind of curvy or twisty petals. It makes for such a beautiful flower in the garden if you're going to just design it in a garden bed or if you want it just for its cut flowers. Right in front of me here, this is an anemone-form dahlia. This is called Totally Tangerine. You can see the beautiful petal color and the shape. It's just a gorgeous, dainty dahlia in your garden. It looks really beautiful in cut flowers. Now, pompon, or there's even a smaller one called a mini pompon. This is a fun one to have. It looks like a little ball. It almost looks like a zinnia, right? You can see the tight condensed petals and just the tiny little shape. We love the way it stands out in the garden and really adds a pop of color, and it just draws your eye to its shape. Another really fun dahlia form to experiment with is cactus or your semi-cactus. We're growing a semi-cactus dahlia called Black Narcissus. Black Narcissus is a really unique flower form and color, and you can see it's still flowering and continuing to open up and produce new blooms. Another really fun dahlia form to grow is decorative, and an example is this bluebell, which is beautiful. We love how it pops in the garden. Another fun dahlia form to grow is ball form. We're growing Eveline this year. You can see I have this beautiful white dahlia with the purple kind of tinged color in the center and around the petals, and it looks beautiful in cut flower arrangements. Now, a water lily form is a really fun, unusual one to grow. We're growing creme de cassis, and you can see the shape and how different it is from ball form and decorative and even dinner plate. Now, if you want to try growing dahlia from seed, which we did this year, try early bird mix. This is a really fun first-year flowering dahlia. Now, early bird mix comes in single and double form dahlias. So you can see this bright yellow single form dahlia. It just pops in the garden. Look how bright and beautiful this is. This seed mix also produced red and white dahlias.
Now you can also pair a lot of dahlias with other plants around your garden. You just need to make sure that the other plants you pair them with need the same amount of sun and like to grow in the same kind of soil, well draining and nutrient rich, and like the same amount of water. Now you can pair your dahlias with other perennials, including other bulbs like canna lilies, calla lilies, even gladiolus, and they'll all thrive together and it'll look so beautiful and really unique. Now, along with other perennial bulbs, you can pair them with other perennials like Shasta daisies or coneflowers or any of the other types of wildflowers that you see out there, as long as they have the same growing needs. Now, the really fun thing, if you're growing dahlias as an annual and not as a perennial, and you're just going to grow them for that season and or possibly just dig them up, store them over the winter, you can grow them with other annuals around your garden. And we have a great example of that right here. We've got this beautiful dahlia with this coleus, and we've also got a calibrachoa sneaking out and peeking out over here. But there's a lot of other annual plants like petunias, cosmos, alyssum. I mean, the list goes on, just as long as they all have the same growing needs. Now, if you need more dahlia planting, growing, or harvesting tips, you can always go to EdenBrothers.com and check out their planting guides.
And we hope this video was really helpful for you in thinking about adding your own dahlias to your garden. And from us at Spoken Garden and Eden Brothers, thank you for watching.